Confused yet? I mean, as far as like learning to code, kind of confused. The awesome and the not so awesome part about learning to code is there's literally tons of resources out there. And though many of them are really, really good, people get lost in trying to decipher what to start with and what to work on first. To remedy that, today I'm going to share 3 very specific resources that you can use to get started as quickly as possible. But first, if you're new here, my name is Corey and I'm a web developer, and I guess more importantly, I'm a self-taught web developer, and I've been in your shoes. When I was starting out, I had no game plan whatsoever. I didn't have a path to follow, and there was so much information out there, I couldn't really make sense of it. Over time and through many wins and many failures, I kind of stumbled my way through the process and started to hone in on what it was that I needed to know to learn how to become a web developer and to eventually get a job in this career field. If that sounds like something you're interested in, consider subscribing, because each week you'll get my very best as I bring you tips, practical advice, and I try to remove some of those roadblocks on the path to becoming a web developer. Okay, enough about me. I don't really want to waste your time with this video, so we'll jump right into the resources. Okay, so the very first resource that I would recommend is Codecademy. And that's Codecademy, not Codecademy, which I thought it was for the longest time, which is strange. So I'd suggest you take their free HTML and CSS course that they offer. This is a really good resource for beginners because it is a hand-holding kind of course, and a lot of people tell you that hand-holding will set you up for failure later, but at this stage of the game, it's really awesome for a beginner to be able to see split panes, to be able to type in code on one side and see exactly what that code does on the other side. This is actually where I started to learn to code, and the cool thing about this is it's a really straightforward, easy to follow, linear course that you can probably knock out in like a week or something like that. I think it took me just a few days or over a weekend of just kind of hammering through it, and it really set me up to know the basics of HTML and CSS. All right, so the second resource is actually a YouTube channel, and I know that sounds kind of weird because you're watching a YouTube channel right now, and I'm telling you to go somewhere else. But it's actually a really, really good resource, and it's one that I used heavily when I was learning and still watch. The YouTube channel is Kevin Powell, and if you don't know Kevin, he is a web developer that does a lot of HTML, CSS, web pages, landing pages, websites, all kinds of fun stuff. But he also does JavaScript and a lot of other things now. The cool thing about Kevin is he's a pro, and you get to see his process from start to finish. So you're getting to see a professional's workflow in action, which you literally had to pay good money to see elsewhere, right? To be able to sit beside a professional and to have them mentor you and to show you their tips and tricks and to see them put their fingers to the keyboard and type out the structure of the HTML or the specific selectors with CSS to make the magic happen. Kevin gives this all for free, and he's a super cool guy as well. So definitely check out Kevin's channel. I'll obviously have a link in the description. Okay, so the last resource that I'm gonna throw your way is something that you've likely already heard about, and if not, you will hear about it eventually, especially in this field. This is like the go-to resource for a lot of people, and that's Free Code Camp. As the name suggests, it's free, and it's code, and it's a camp, I guess. It's very similar to Codecademy, that it has the split pane. It's not as hand-holdy as Codecademy is, but it is like super robust, very deep, and it's an incredible wealth of knowledge. The reason that I have it as my third resource, which by the way, these aren't really in any order, but I wanted to share it last, because not only does Free Code Camp set you up with HTML and CSS to give you that basic knowledge and that ground level, it also will take you literally all the way through to JavaScript frameworks, which took me like a year and a half to get to that point on my own. Most people never finish free code camp, and it's kind of a joke with the community, but it's also true. Most people never finish it. It's a really long curriculum, but most people never get to the end point because they get jobs before before they finish the whole course. So it's definitely a resource checking out. You would have probably stumbled on it by yourself anyway, but I needed to share that with you because this is definitely a rock star resource. So I would say start with the first two to get your feet wet, and then free code camp could be like a daily exercise for you. The cool thing about it is it's made up of a lot of small exercises built on top of each other. So this is a perfect opportunity for you to knock out 1, 2, or 3 of these just on a daily basis to keep that fresh in your mind. All right, folks, so I told you that it would be quick. I don't want to waste any of your time, and I hope that by being very specific with these resources, not just kind of giving you the old like, hey, watch a course or do this platform or read this book. I'm hoping by being super specific with these resources that you can go out and get started that much quicker on your journey to becoming a web developer. With that being said, there are tons of really good resources out there on the web. This is just where I would start personally. But where would you start? Let me know in the comments, because I'm not only looking for resources to share, but I'm also looking for resources for myself. As you guys will learn on this journey, it's literally never ending. You're always going to be learning something, and that's me as well. I'm always learning something every day. So let me know down below. So like always, if you guys found value in this video, give me some thumbs up. That really means a lot, and it really helps the channel. And until next time, keep coding.